Wireless 3G or 4G modules are among the most deceptively awesome products in the world. Because when you've got the hardware working, that's the start of a completely new field of pain. Incidentally, just like these guys behind here. And an old friend of mine has recently published a book which basically should be called Cellular IoT Modules After the Hardware. And I have to say, I enjoyed reading it, and in the following steps I will go through it a little bit to tell you more about what it's all about. Well, as we see here, the tome has approximately 450 pages. And in the first act, you've got the usual blah blah, you know, the index, and then you've got the acknowledgements, where, yes, I have to say I am a little bit proud because I did get a mention. But after that, we are already diving into stuff. What you need to understand is that basically his background is software engineering. He is not a hardware guy. So he starts out babbling a little bit about software coupling. I think you heard that before in one of my videos. And then you get a little chapter on cellular network basics. And this is something which is interesting because some of it is like more about the RF aspects, as you see here, but he also provides quite a bit of information about technical aspects, about the network structure, and so on. For example, about the timing advance, as you see it here. And this is something which I personally didn't know about much, even though I'm the guy who designed this thing, which you see here, for example. And, well, yeah, very interesting reading. The next big topic is SIM and eSIM cards. Basically, he covers everything that's important here, and with that, most of the discussion of the hardware is over. When it comes to communicating with modems, the lingua franca is the AT code. And basically from approximately page 110, Brenner starts to go over all of the AT commands. But he does so in a very interesting way because he shows from his practical experience, for example, what sequence of commands is sensible to get something done effectively. And what is really unique is that he usually also gives practical examples and explains why this sequence of commands is useful. And this is beneficial because that way the tutorial is useful not only for the Quectel modems which he uses, but the concepts can also work with wireless modems containing chipsets from other manufacturers. And at the back there is a little appendix which acts as a dictionary of AT commands. And what is nice is that it not only tells you the individual commands and their functions, but also tells you where they are coming from, aka whether it is a Quectel specific command or whether it is a command which can be used generically because it is specified as part of the 3GPP. And just like in the famous spot on the Volksfront of Judea versus the Jüdische Volksfront, the life of Brian, there is a bunch of various wireless modem companies. And here the next logical block, after an introduction of roaming and blah blah blah, introduces a new way of handling AT commands, which Brenner refers to as command-independent processing. And the big idea behind this process, which I personally find very innovative, is that it acts as some kind of hardware abstraction layer above the individual AT commands, so that parsing logic and the like can be recycled. And the interesting aspect here is that all of the tutorials in the book are written in Java. But on multiple places, Brenner mentions that you can also use either C or Python. So in principle, the book shows you the technique and enables you to do your own work. And this approach is aided by ample use of UML diagrams, such as the one here, which can save you a lot of time reading code. And what is also nice, which I'm not going to show you now but I'll mention it, is that there is also a little UML tutorial appendix at the end of the book, which provides you some practical explanations about how an UML diagram works and what to do with it in practice. Brenner and I have been working together on a variety of trackers and similar devices. And what makes the book really valuable are chapters such as this one on thin air, or the other one on the GNSS capabilities of the cellular modems. Because you need to understand that such a cellular modem is more than just a simple TCP/IP network card. It can provide a variety of value-added features, but of course only if you know that they are there and if you know how to create the software to effectively profit from them. And being targeted at Linux-based IoT systems, this part of the chapter also introduces the GPSD daemon and a variety of helpful utilities which make finding problems in your GNSS stack easier when you are working on a Debian or general Linux-based embedded software system. And finally, to round this off, there is also a chapter on text messages. And what I like especially is that it not only explains how to send texts, but as you see here, the book also gives you an overview of the applicable legislation so that your system remains legal. In the case of a wireless modem, plugging it into your process computer and getting it to work, sadly, usually is the easy part of the deal. And if you want to actually get the software working reliably and you want to understand what is happening in the background, this is definitely a book which deserves a recommendation. I mean, I took it with me on the train, I greatly enjoyed reading it, and I give a full recommendation if you ever find yourself in a position where you are writing software that interacts with a cellular modem. And with that, I'm very thankful for your attention. I hope to hear from you again soon. In the meantime, bye bye and thank you for listening.